Public Library's 100th Anniversary Radio Show podcast, brought to you by the 100th Anniversary Committee. Episode 4, The Third Librarian, Miss Betty Lou Williams.
You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello. I say hi, you say hello. You say why, and I say I don't know. Oh no. You say goodbye, and I say hello. Hello, hello. I don't know why you say goodbye, I say hello.
Good morning, listeners. This is Don McNeil broadcasting to you live from the Allenton Hotel. That was Hello Goodbye, performed by Sam Langford. You're listening to The Breakfast Club on ABC Radio. Today is Saturday, June 8th, 1968, and I will be meeting with two of Illinois' finest, Antioch Public Library's Betty Lou Williams and Library Board President Louise Voss. But first, let's have a look at the news. Still reeling in the aftermath of Martin Luther King Jr.'s assassination, America has received another devastating blow this past week. Senator Robert F. Kennedy was shot following a speech in the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles, California. The shooter, Sirhan Sirhan, wounded 5 others before hotel workers and Kennedy's personal bodyguards disarmed the young man in what witnesses describe as a flurry of heroic action. The senator survived his initial wounds, reportedly asking if everyone was all right before being rushed to a local hospital. Kennedy passed away in the morning of June 6th. The country continues to grieve the passing of this great man, but we must move forward. It is what he would have wanted. NASA has announced the launch date for their Apollo 7 shuttle, October 11th of this year, weather permitting. The purpose of this shuttle launch is to test out a new command module in preparation for the much-anticipated mission to the moon. Astronauts will use the Apollo 7 shuttle to orbit the Earth before returning approximately 10 days later. Anti-war protests continued as the number of Americans' lives lost overseas rises exponentially. The North Vietnamese and Viet Cong troops began their Tet Offensive on January 31st of this year, and our brave men and women have been doing what they can to stifle enemy violence while protecting freedom and democracy for all. President Johnson, who has been criticized over many of his choices related to this ongoing conflict, has officially put a stop to the bombing of North Vietnam, but that has not slowed the protests one iota. But I believe we shall soon find a peaceful resolution, and then things can return to normal. I will return with the women from Antioch after a brief word from our sponsors. Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. Oh yeah, Winston tastes good, like a cigarette should. Winston's are the best tasting and best value cigarettes on the market, just 25 cents a pack. The holiday season is still months away, but it's never too soon to begin thinking about what your loved ones want for Christmas. Buy them one of Kodak's 4 new Instamatic cameras. The 124 model loads film instantly, never needs settling, uses neat little flash cubes, takes all kinds of pictures, and comes completely outfitted for less than $20. The slim, compact S10 fits in most pockets. Also available, the 134 and the top-of-the-line 174 models. Welcome back. I would like you to all give a great big round of applause for Miss Betty Lou Williams and Mrs. Louise Voss of Antioch. Miss Williams, if I'm not mistaken, you hold the title of librarian once before?
That is correct, Mr. McNeil. I took over following the retirement of our first librarian, the inspiring Miss Mary Stanley. Shortly thereafter, I left for some much-needed respite while I attended school in Birmingham. Geraldine Noe and I stayed together, and she worked as a typist. Then I returned as an assistant to our previous librarian, Mrs. Marion Harden, formerly Rigby, in 1948, and have been at the library ever since.
That's interesting. Thank you for coming in today.
You're welcome, Mr. McNeil. I am excited to talk to you.
Also with us is Miss Louise Voss. My longtime listeners may remember Mrs. Voss as the president of the Antioch Library's Board of Trustees. Welcome back. How are you on this fine summer morning?
I am wonderful. Thank you for asking. And how are you?
I'm just great. Thanks. Now, Miss Williams, Chicago must be a great trek from your usual haunts.
Yes, I mostly find myself inside the library, at home, or at a number of local community hotspots. And I worship, act as treasurer, and sing in the choir at United Methodist Church. In addition, I serve on the board to the community concerts that started in the Tabernacle building in Zion.
Don't forget your outdoor hobbies. Betty Lou has been spirited ever since she was young. Why, she used to climb trees just like the boys.
Yes, and my cousins, the Schroeders, have a house on Channel Lake. Every chance I get, I'm out there enjoying the opportunity to sit in the water and just enjoy it. In addition, I love working in my garden and cooking.
Oh, yes. Your thin sliced potatoes with onions are the absolute best. All fried up in bacon grease. Delicious.
Yum! Can you tell me a little more about yourself, your history at the library, and perhaps your family?
I grew up in my grandfather's house in Antioch. My adoptive ancestors were some of the earliest European settlers to the area. As such, I am fascinated with the study of local history. I spend time reading books, plus chatting with all kinds of people.
Betty Lou has a number of wonderful friends within the community. Everyone just loves her. Even the school librarian rents a room in her house. They play cards and are often seen about town together.
Do you get along that well with everyone in Antioch? Please do share a bit of gossip with us. I know my listeners would be fascinated.
Well, I suppose it couldn't hurt. There was an incident with the elementary school principal. The school had no library until a few years back, and when asked about this, the principal pointed to my library and said, "There's a library."
Oh, dear. Well, I'm glad you helped them get things sorted. Tell us more about your job, or jobs, at the library.
I started working there in 1942 when I was just 23 years old. Then, as I said, I headed off to Birmingham, which was just lovely. I still miss it. I returned to Antioch because of family obligations. I still enjoy my work at the library tremendously.
So, what brings you to Chicago this morning?
We want to talk to your listeners because the Antioch Library is in desperate need of renovations and expansion.
More expansions? Oh, wow. Are you still situated inside the Masonic Temple?
We are not. My cousins, the fabulous Mr. and Mrs. William Schroeder, donated the little house to the library project. We've been set up in there ever since.
I see.
Expansion is necessary. The library is jam-packed with materials.
We simply cannot continue in these cramped quarters. So Betty Lou and I, along with the rest of the board, are campaigning for a bond issue which would free up funds for our renovation.
That sounds exciting. What do you have in mind?
Our hope is to create something entirely new, a building specifically designed to be a library. People seem to love our library. It's time to grow some more.
Yes, Betty Lou has brought in a tremendous following of loyal patrons and volunteers with her swiftness and dedication to the library.
Why, thank you, Louise, but I'm not sure you need to go so far in praising my efforts. I've only followed in the footsteps of the amazing women who ran the library before me.
Nonsense. You are a brilliant innovator and trailblazer. You were the one who replaced our old little slips of paper with envelopes and official due date cards.
The last time I had Mrs. Voss on my stage, she was here with Mrs. Harden, who told us some of the things libraries do for their communities. Could you take a moment to update us on that front?
Certainly. In addition to our books, periodicals, and other library materials, we assist children with homework, do story hours, and try to help patrons with any questions they might need answered.
Whether you want to know the square root of 64 or are looking for hotel recommendations in New York City, the librarians may not know the answer off the top of their head, but they do know how to find it. Miss Williams has also built several of the bookshelves, which we use to this day.
You certainly seem like an accomplished woman, Miss Williams. It was an honor to meet you today.
Thank you, Mr. McNeil. Fabulous meeting you as well.
And Mrs. Voss, it has been a pleasure, as always.
Thank you. I always enjoy my time here, and I feel as though we really are reaching people through your broadcast.
I'm sure we are. Thank you, women, for joining me today. I hope all goes well with your renovations. Unfortunately, we are out of time, but I look forward to hearing from the library in the near future. Have a nice day.
Goodbye, Mr. McNeil.
Bye.
And now, here to perform a live version of the Beatles' hit song, All You Need Is Love, is Sam Langford.
There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. Nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be when time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. Nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need.
Next time on the 100th Anniversary Radio Show Podcast, Episode 5, The First Library Director, Kathy Labuda. This podcast was brought to you by the Antioch Public Library District. Screenplay was written by Rachel Stein. Research was done by Jennifer Drinka, Brenda Martinez, Rachel Stein, Katie McNatt, and Hillary Schneider. Edited by Brenda Martinez. The cast: Dan Labuda as Don McNeil, Janice Stern as Betty Lou Williams, and Becky Jacobson as Louise Voss. Music was by Sam Langford. See notes for more details.